What's up, guys? Welcome and feel at home to my today's video. And I hope that you guys are doing well from wherever you are. I'm from the four corners of the world, north to the south, east to the west. I do hope that you guys are doing well. So welcome and feel at home. Let us enjoy our space together. This is none other than Kamanja_KE. I talk from the village and I always talk for the village here in Nyabwanse, Kenya, East Africa. And I'm very happy actually to be associated. I'm very happy to be with you all this time. I'm very happy because you've been supporting me. My supporters, I'm very happy and I'm very, very much glad to you guys because your support is, I cannot take your support for granted. And for my newbies who are coming in, kindly, as you like this video, remember to subscribe. Don't forget. Show me your generosity by subscribing. Show me your love by liking these videos, and God is going to bless you. So guys, today, actually, I have some 2-3 things to talk about, to explain and give them actually give them some light where actually darkness is starting to prevail. When I say so, guys, I want to make things very clear here. I want to make things very clear. I will not come forward actually to come and defend somebody or to come and do what, not reacting, but I want to make things very clear here so that the whole of this family actually will get me correct and will share it to other people who might be also be blanketed by lies going on. The situation, guys, I'm referring to is Cecil's life the other day and his portrayal, actually the way he portrayed the Kurian community. That is what I want to comment on. Number 2, from that life, actually Cecil has been getting a lot of attacks from every corner. More especially of the remarks he made about the Kurian community. Number 2, I'm going to talk about Max 1 actually, who is in the forefront of attacking Mr. Cecil, that is the Trench Town boy. And actually, the third thing I want to explain today is about Passy has gone out and he has told the world to leave his children alone. Guys, take a seat, relax, and enjoy with me together while we bring these things in the open and talk it the way it is supposed to be. Without bending, without even being biased, but we want to put it things the way they are supposed to be, correctly. I do believe that for myself, I'm very honest for what I'll be going to talk about. I'm going to be very, very honest with the situation. More so, this Mr. Cecil's situation, understand on the people of this community where we live and where we are talking from. Number 2, I've said I'm going to talk about this Max 1 and how he is now leading the attacks on Cecil, the Trench Town boy. So relax and let us actually enjoy this. Guys, to start with, actually, I want to talk about Passy. Passy. Passy feels that he's now a big person in these streets. Passy thinks that now having a channel in YouTube is all enough for her and she can maintain herself. But what actually has gotten me by surprise. And I'm not very happy about this. From how stories are being twisted, directed to Passy. And now we can justify Passy's claims that people are using her name actually to grow. More so the people from the perpetrators of hate in this community. Guys, Passy has told us to leave his children alone. She doesn't want to hear our kids being mentioned and talked about in these streets. And I think that one is a very good call. That is now, let us actually protect the children. Let us keep off the children from these streets. She's making a very honest call. But whose mistake is this? Guys, let us listen to Passy.
Nothing talking so bad. Even God is there, and God can't give that person say they are now to the YouTube and starting talking about my kids. That's my bad things that people are doing for now. Even if they want to grow, so bad to talk about the innocent kids to the YouTube. Guys, everyone must have, let us others now talk with her kids there.
That the policy of the school is that kids who are coming in from a public school, I remember he definitely said public school, has to be placed in the grade that they were in or supposed to be in. You cannot put them in a lower grade or a higher grade. I said that yesterday, and some knucklehead said, I never said once that they put, listen to my video again, make sure you can hear it. I never once said anything about the kids' ability, intellectual ability. I never once said that. I never once said that they put them in a lower grade or a higher grade. I was specific when I said they put him in the grade he was supposed to be in. That's ambiguous. I said, that's no problem. I'd be delighted. And when we got there that morning, we went into the office. We went over a little bit of stuff, how the kids were doing and so on. And he was, actually the principal, was delighted to see their progress. So nowhere or place or in an imaginary mind, I mentioned that the kids were not intelligent or they were not bright. I never said that. And if somebody say that, they are the sturdiest scum for saying something like that about me. Talk anything you want to talk about me that you know is the fact. I can deal with it. But when you start getting dirty, you're only disgracing yourself, because I have a way of expressing and revealing your scoundrelsness. Okay?
Whose mistake is this? Who first brought these kids to these streets? It's her. Whenever she shoots, she makes a video, the kids are always with her. She's the one who put these kids to these streets so that they have sponsors. That was a positive exposure to these streets. But now, Mr. Cecil, who has been sponsoring these kids in Chacha, Chacha and the other sibling, and then we have Emmanuel and his sponsor. Actually, when you sponsor something, now this is for Mr. Cecil and for Passy. If I take an opportunity of sponsoring a guy, if you take an opportunity of investing in a business, you see sponsoring is like investing. What should you do? You must make a follow-up, always. And I don't see any mistake of Mr. Cecil, Trenchtown boy, making making always follow-ups to where he has invested. His sponsorship, his scholarship actually means a lot to these kids' lives. And for him, he must be there, he must be present to see how these kids are progressing. And this guy, Cecil, Trenchtown boy, comes out loud and tells us, actually, even the principal of the school was very happy, was amazed, was amused by what? He was very much pleased by the progress of these kids academically. And he swears, kabisa, in this video, you can see the receipt. He is swearing that at no point he has ever called these kids intellectually down, or they are not bright, or they are numb. It is not a story that has been made. It's a story that has been twisted to fit somebody's or to suit somebody's interest. And this person is the JT podcast, who at first brought this and said Cecil has called these kids not bright. He has called these kids numb. Yeah? You get the story? So Mr. Cecil is off here. Cecil never said anything. Guys, we are teachers. Teachers are people who guides, who directs, educates, and actually teachers bring awareness to people about a given thing. Now, I don't have any time whereby I can tell that somebody's kid is numb publicly. It's like a doctor. You go there, you talk about your problems. There is that code of conduct. So the teachers in school had to give positive remarks on these kids. And actually, Cecil has come out, is cleaning his hands and said, I only checked up on their progress and the progress was promising. Every school has got structures where to categorize students. Most of the private schools and the public schools we have, there is that narrative that students from public schools tend not to perform properly academically when compared to private schools. I don't know why that narrative is there, but I always dispute the narrative because we teachers make the same effort and teach these students the same content. So I really don't see where that narrative is being applied here. But if it was applied to categorize Passy's kids, then it was for the what? That was a structure and a tradition of that school. But nobody has come out again telling us that these kids were categorized in either low grade or in either high grade. Nobody is talking about that. Now I want to ask my young brother JT podcast in Nairobi. This is a boy who has never been even into the village here. How did he get that story that Cecil said these kids were not bright? Now you see, JT is now conflicting Cecil and Passy. JT is the one who is bringing Passy's kids on the limelight. JT is the one who is bringing Passy's kids to the public. JT is the one now smearing Passy's kids and Passy herself with mud. That is, I'm not supporting Passy, and actually I want to condemn JT how he twisted the story to fit himself, to suit himself. So Mr. Cecil is off here, kabisa. Is completely off. And he has actually cleaned the air, and we are very happy. So to Madam Passy, we have struggles actually. These are your kids. Never should you bring your secrets into the open. Never should you give people your stories so that they pity you. Let us not concur with other people who are saying that we bring our stories so that people sympathize with us. Your kids are your kids. Take care of your kids. You are a parent. Even if you are married young or what, but you are a parent. You know what is parenthood. Parent your kids the way you can dream of. the way you dream them to be in the future. So shape them. Give them enough parenthood guide. That is it. That is it. Now that you've lost sponsors and everything, God knows what will happen next. But actually, don't be like, you know, I have a YouTube channel. This channel is going to make me this. I've been surviving without that. No. You are just comforting yourself. And that comfort will one time go away when you realize nobody is standing with you. Passy, I think I've talked about you. Kindly be a good parent. You know what is parenting. Guide your kids. Be with your kids. And don't actually depend on people to come and rescue you in parenting them. Don't actually put yourself or portray yourself as becoming so needy so that you attract everybody's attention. And that is the trick you are using. You say, I'm a widow. Who told you widows cannot actually manage? Who told you that widows cannot manage? They only manage well. They can only manage well if they are well organized and focused and committed. Very honest. Widows are believed to be very honest and sincere with their situations. If they want to attract any help, honesty is the key word here. So Passy, look at yourself properly. Parent your kids. They will germinate, they will grow, they will become people, and they will one day talk these stories. But when you start bringing your kids to these streets, they are not going to see you as a good mother after all. History is going to tell them who the mother was. I'm defending the kids because I know the plight of kids. I'm defending them. Keep them off completely from these streets. Don't talk. Don't argue on your kids. Those are your kids. You know what they eat. You know what they dress. You know everything about them. Those are your kids. You understand them properly. Keep on parenting them properly. That's a very good call I can make to you, Passy, if you are going to get me. Now, guys, if we leave out Passy, let's talk about this other person here. Maxi 1. Max 1 has been silent for long. When the KOT came, Max 1 was everywhere in these streets. Then we saw him departing ways with Masubo 1 actually because of some few tokens, some money. You saw Ernest went his own way because of money, and money has been everything in this. And I told you, money has brought a lot of madness in this village. Money and madness in this village are twins. Identical, biological twins, if I can say. Let us hear what Max is talking about and his message. In fact, Maxi is lecturing Trench Town Boy. Maxi is on a pure lecture on Trench Town Boy. That is Mr. Cecil.
Yesterday, actually, I came out and said what I had to say about Mr. Cecil. And today, I want to add something on top of that. I want to tell Mr. Cecil, in a good way, kindly, take that support that you're going to want to bring to our community here. We don't need it anymore. And stop talking about our community. Stop talking about our village. Kindly. Stop talking about our people for views. Now talk about your family, the good family that is not yours. You know, show us what you can do. Max 1, everybody in the chat, thank you very much. Auto welcome. Give a video a like as we proceed. I was addressing Mr. Cecil. I was telling him that it is now time has reached, you know, for him to show. Let him show, you know. Stephen Sayed, welcome.
Maxi is very bitter. Maxi is very bitter. And is lecturing Trench Town Boy like I can lecture my own kid. He lacks a lot of respect. And people say that he who knows not, and he knows not that he knows not, is a fool. Yes, you can come out defending your own community. That is right, Max 1. Being bitter that you are defending about your community, that is right. You defend it. And we also supposed to defend ourselves. But look at the way you are defending your community. How I wish you've been defending this way from the word go. How I wish you could have been defending this community from the word go. Mark you are a youth leader. They say so. What impact have you brought? Positive impact have you brought to the youth? What impact? That is my challenge. Before I talk how you are defending well the community. But before you start defending this community, because of these foreign guys who are coming in to bring this and this, you see, tell us, as a youth leader, what have you achieved and what have you done to this community so that we avoid being smeared, we avoid being portrayed in a bad way in these streets. As a youth leader, you've been in the forefront, spreading jealousy, hatred, and division among the youths in this village. Now, it has now pained you when one says that these guys are ungrateful, these guys are not honest, these guys are uncivilized. It is now paining you. Should you defend words or you defend by acting? Yeah. We are missing some points here from Maxi 1. As a youth leader, you have your roles. In fact, your office has got roles. If you have an office, you've got roles. You've not played your roles properly. You've not played your roles properly. Before I talk about Mr. Cecil and his argument about civilization, look at this. And look this at the bigger picture, Mr. Maxis 1. Look at this. I've said, it is not bad to defend one's community. Yes, I should defend myself. But look at, when you defend yourself, have you been defending yourself for the whole community? You've been doing things egocentrically. You've been doing things selfishly. Now that somebody has touched you, somebody has stepped on you, you want to take the whole community. That it is now the community that is now being diminished by this guy. I totally disagree with you. First, perform your duty as a youth leader. But when you are performing your duty as a youth leader, it's not bad to look on both sides. You've been on the forefront fighting Ayamaro. He comes from the village. So you've been fighting your own community. Yeah. You've been on the forefront fighting Congress mom and Congress dad. That is Ayamaro's family. Where is this family found? Inside this village. So you've been fighting yourself. Now, when did it start paining you when one guy gives his suggestion, gives his opinion about the community? When did it start paining you? Even if he makes very bad remarks, even if he has made very awkward remarks about the community, ask yourself. Cecil comes from the US. Yes. Born in Jamaica. This is Nyabuanse, Kenya. He just came here for a few weeks. He left. Yes, he left. After leaving, when he was living with us, He might have known, he might have gotten people who were telling him about the community. He could have not known about this community. That is one thing that people learn when they are touring the strange communities, people far away from their homes. They tend to learn their cultures. If you were a true leader, you were to reach Mr. Cecil when he was around, because you are a youth representative. Be with him. Tell him this is the Kurian community, one of the most hospitable communities in this Africa. And again, these are our cultural practices. But I think this cultural practice is very awkward. We are supposed to leave this and take this. Now, are you seeing what I'm seeing? You never took it to yourself. You distanced yourself from Cecil's story. Now that Cecil has touched you, that Cecil has talked about your community, because you are eating from that youth representative thing, now you want to come out and do what? Defend the community. Defending is good. But look at the people who are defending the community. These are guys who have been on the forefront, dividing the community. You cannot actually defend what you've been destroying. You cannot defend what you've been destroying with your own hands. Because the destruction started with you. Now let reconstruction start with you. You've been destroying the village. You know how you've been destroying it? By fighting Ayamarwa single-handedly, day in, day out, calling him names. Now you want to distance yourself from that. You want now to call up Ayamarwa to act on Cecil's remarks on the village and the people. You see, don't just bring conflicts. Like I've said, Passy now wants, JT wants to bring conflicts between Passy and Cecil because the sponsorship has been withdrawn. You want to force Passy to talk what Passy doesn't want to talk about. Now that is what you want to do to Marwa. You want to force Marwa. You want to force Marwa to confront Mr. Cecil on that remark. That I'm not seeing it happening. And it is not going to happen. You know why. And I've said, and I've told you why. You've been on the forefront, destroying the village. You've been an agent of destruction. Now, become an agent of reconstruction. Reconstruct the village that you've been destroying. Reconstruct the community that you've been portraying. Were it not you, guy, let me tell you, were it not you and your people, the world could have not known about how the village is fake and how the village is full of ungrateful people. Because it is through your character, it is through your character that people came to learn about this village. People got interested about the village. That's why you have a following. And those people are following you. I don't want to call those people are following you. They are enjoying what you are telling them. And now they are coming to you and telling you, stand with your community, defend it. When you've been actually fighting your own community. Guys, think critically. I'm not defending Cecil. I'm only defending the image of the community. Yes, I'm only defending the image of this community. A bit, guys, huh? Yes, guy, that is my defense for this community. Before I start talking about Mr. Cecil's remarks. But Maxi, man up. Game up. Up your game. Don't come actually publicly defending what you've not been defending. Don't. That is my advice to you. You've not been defending this community at any point. And I'm telling you the truth. As a youth leader, the space you have, you've never used it properly. And I've said you've been using it otherwise for destruction purposes. Now, what you've been destroying, reconstruct first before you start defending. That's the only way you are going to defend this community. Number one, there is something that you don't understand about civilization. Yes, you've talked about Mr. Cecil calling us uncivilized guys and terming the Kurian community as becoming uncivilized. Do you know the meaning of being uncivilized? Or do you know the meaning of uncivilization? That is when you are categorically put socially, economically, and politically. All those practices become, they are awkward. They are termed as awkward practices. When we embrace primitive practices, socially, politically, and economically, that's when we say we are uncivilized. But nobody says that we are uncivilized. But what we do in these streets simply define ourselves. Being greedy, being selfish, is part of being uncivilized. That is socially. Socially. Practicing of cultural, practicing cultural practices that are past time. That is when we say we are uncivilized. Being marginalized doesn't mean that we are uncivilized. That is what I want. Being marginalized doesn't mean, Mr. Maxi, being marginalized doesn't mean that we are uncivilized. And I always explain, we are marginalized politically, and we are marginalized maybe economically and socially because of the so-called parameters that are used to determine your political level, your economic level, and even your social level worldwide. Yes, even a marginalized community has got a leader. We don't actually deny that. We have leaders from our land, and that is good. They are representing us well. But let the fact remain. We are always marginalized on the world map. We are always marginalized, even in the Kenyan constitution. But I've not seen where in the Kenyan constitution they have said that we are uncivilized. No. We cannot become uncivilized because you have schools around. People are going to school. People are well educated. We have our infrastructure is now improving. Hospitals, schools, banks, and all those services. We are not uncivilized. But I've said now, the new trend of uncivilization is when we actually, to ourselves, have characters that depict primitivity. When we ourselves have characters that depict myopism, we can term that as being uncivilized. When you don't think above the box, when you actually embrace things that actually are not supposed to be embraced by a normal human being, we say you are uncivilized. And that is what I've told you. Cecil gave his account on his experiences. And I want to actually blame people who are next to Cecil. People who gave him this wrong information. Mr. Cecil Trenchtown Boy, a good friend of mine. I'm here actually to rectify. Mr. Cecil might have, when he came, he visited a lot of communities. Kurian community as one of the marginalized communities. Because I told you we are marginalized in a population way that we are less than other tribes in population. That is one parameter of marginalization. Another parameter of marginalization, I said, let us look at people, the most learned guys, the population of the most learned guys. You will find that the portion is actually low. That is why we are marginalized. And when we talk of development, we have things that we miss as a community, but other communities are having. That is how we become marginalized. In Korea, we have hardship zones that have been gazetted in our constitution. Any hardship zone is a marginalized zone. That is what I wanted to tell you. Now, when you bring people like O'Hara Senior who start telling us about our practices, cultural practices that have been passed, cultural practices that depict our community. Yes, depict our community in a bad way. You want to tell people that they should not talk about those cultural communities, that they should not depict those cultural communities as being uncivilized. You see, was talking about woman marrying another woman. And the people, your supporters and their supporters are following, and they were saying, oh, that is great. Now, is that not a practice that depicts us, that gives us an opportunity to be uncivilized? When people are actually talking, campaigning against female genital mutilation, you and your group, in those posts, you at some time you are talking about how it is supposed to do. We should cling to our traditions. Is that not telling people that we are uncivilized? The only thing Mr. Cecil did wrong, this is so wrong. He made a wrong perception about the Kurian when it comes to initiation. And I want actually to condemn the person who gave him this observation. It is not in the Korean community that when one is supposed, actually take it logically, an 8-year-old going to cattle rustling. Koreans are not categorized under cattle rustling. To some extent, that activity was there. Cattle rustling, a stealing of cows. They were always categorized there. The Maasais, the Kurians, the Marakwets, the Pokots. But there is no point when a boy is being initiated, is given that task to go and steal for that to become a real man. I think that one is from either the Ma community, that is the Maasais, when you want to become a Moran. And I think that practice is already it has been taken by, overtaken by time. Yeah, it has been overtaken actually. That practice is no longer there. But for the Korean communities, even at 8 years, no, actually it is 10 and above. It's 10, 11 and above where a boy is initiated. That is what I want to talk about this. I've been here and I've been seeing here. My kids have been initiated here. So that is above 10 and 11 and above ages. But for us, where I come from, that is the kisses. We initiate. Kids are circumcised when they are very young. The age of 8, 6 to 10. That's the only difference. But Korean communities, guys are initiated at an age where they are now mature. That is a plus. But this thing of, I don't know, stealing, bringing now to be initiated, that one is no. It is a different community. It is a practice that has been taking place in a different community. But stealing of cows, we have a difference between cattle rustling and just stealing one cow. You see, cattle rustling is a group of people invading a given village, taking all the herds of cattle from there to their village, and there is war. That's cattle rustling. But for this, obvious, we have thieves around. People steal from each other. And maybe when Cecil was here, maybe a homestead lost a cow. But what I'm objecting totally is a young boy who is supposed to be initiated and is given a restriction to go and steal. But no, that was maybe a misconception. That was a misconception, and Mr. Cecil actually, I'm bringing this to your light, that was purely a misconception. That is, it is not done here. Actually, it is not done here. Initiation is there, but that part of stealing and to become initiated is not done here. So, just construct yourself. That will be good. But that thing is now bringing so many attacks. You are being attacked left, right, center, that you are diminished the community. You are demeaning the community. Guys, that is about Mr. Cecil. I'm not defending him, but I'm only correcting him from there that he might have gone to the Maasai. He went to Masai Mara. Maybe he might have been told about that community. But for Max One to come out and attacking him, yes, Max One attacking him, that is pure disrespecting. Look at his age. Look at his age. And for your information, Max One even has said that he was in one of his videos, he was talking good about Ayamaro. And I was wondering, it's because now, if he feels some pain, he wants to bring Ayamaro to his picture. Why can't you now attack Ayamaro that he is the one who brought the people to the village? You don't want any development. That is what he has said. He doesn't want. Look at the person. This is a youth representative. He doesn't want any development. And he's saying, Cecil, with your projects, go away. Cecil, with your sponsorship, go away. We don't want. Say, I don't want. Use that first persona thing. First persona. Singular. Singular past. First persona. I don't want. But there is no point where Mr. Cecil has come out and he wanted to help you. But when you are now coming, you want to speak on behalf of the community. It doesn't sound well. It doesn't sound well. Go revise. Do some revisions about help and development. Go do some revisions about help and development. And I told you the other day that these guys, it is not that they lack villages where they can take their projects to. And that is one character that is now depicting us, seeing that we are not civilized. When we are chasing development away because of a little misunderstanding. That is now when people start investigating deeper what kind of people are in this community. Guys, at our age, let us, and I always say, let us not use our selfish interests to enrich ourselves. Let us not. If you are talking about the community, you must have ought to stand with this community all this time, from time immemorial, when you joined these streets. But you've been killing, and today, because there is a very small misunderstanding, a very small misconception of things, we are coming out loud, attacking. You don't need, yes, guys, everybody enjoys his own space. No development. You got your own, I don't know, you got your own thing, your own stuff, you eating your own family, but think about your neighbor. Think about the rest of the people around you. Hi guys. Are you capable? Are you able actually to even mind of your neighbor? You never. And you won't. So guys, that is it. Mr. Cecil, I'm not supporting him. I was only correcting his remarks. He might have taken a very... Yes, we are marginalized. Some of the practices we have are uncivilized, and that is why most... like now, stealing a cow, actually. Woman-to-woman marriages. You see, those are practices that depict and supports our uncivilization stage. But what I've said totally, that it does not happen here, is when a boy who is supposed to be initiated, ready for initiation, is supposed to go and steal to bring a cow so that it can be initiated. That age is too young. 8 years is too young. And actually, it doesn't happen. Of course, we have thieves. People steal. But not those young ones. People steal. Of course, we are marginalized. Politically, economically, and even socially. We are marginalized. So actually, I don't see any blame. I'll only come out to correct that statement. And don't use that statement just to hit everybody who is associated with, I don't know, Marwa, who is associated with Trench Town Boy, who is associated with I Am Rupat. No. Don't come, don't use that one as a fighting spirit. Now you've been given content all this week. Wait for his live next Sunday again. You will find another content. Guys, from here, I say, because it's very cold, I want to meet kids. We have a championship today. I say, let everybody watch his space, actually. And if I've touched somebody, I'm sorry. But the truth is, guys, let the truth stand. Let people talk reality. Sometimes we are going to bring reality check here. We tell people the truth. And if you cannot tell me the truth, I'm not going. If you cannot tell me something where I'm wrong, I'm not going even to rectify myself. I might do things thinking I'm the right, I'm doing it right. And on the other side, you are laughing at me that I'm not doing the best thing. So watch out. Watch out. Let us be real in whatever thing we are doing, and let us remain positive. If you don't want to reclaim your glory that you've been losing, don't wait until you touch to start reclaiming that glory. If you don't take time to build, actually, and you take most of your time to destroy, to distract, when a mess is up, don't just come and out clean and tell people that now we want to reconstruct this place anew. Watch your roles. Watch your roles. Today, guys, just watch your roles. As a parent, take to your roles. As a leader, take to your roles. As a villager, take to your roles. And as a human being, just take your roles properly. Goodbye, and let God bless you. Remember, this is your boy, Kamanja_KE. Kindly, guys, like my videos, subscribe. Take me to 1,000 subscribers. I'll be very, very much grateful. I will be very much glad. Thank you, and God bless you.